Yeah, this was my art between 2019 and 2020. The Dark Ages. Now, this was my art about a month-ish ago. Take it or leave it, more or less. Not too shabby, wasn't really happy, needed some change. And here's the art I made this week. Now, I'm not gonna act like I'm some sort of art guru. I'm not a teacher or anything. I'm actually just a beginner artist who's figuring out how to do better. And I'm about to share that with you, basically. Oh yeah, and if you like this video and you learned something, hit that subscribe button, please. Become one of my goblins. Join the army. I feel like for being step 1 in this entire video, absorbing information is kinda overlooked like all the time. But it really is one of the most important steps. There was a quote I once heard, and I can't find the author anywhere, but it went kind of like this. Halfway of solving a problem is understanding the question. And it applies to art too. So it's really important that you absorb the correct type of material, stuff that you like. I found it that Pinterest and Instagram aren't really doing it for me anymore. Pinterest, I'll spend hours and hours just scrolling, and Instagram, I get distracted by the reels and end up not drawing at all. So I found an alternative, Xiao Hung Shu, and I really hope I'm pronouncing that somewhat correctly. In English, it's called Little Red Book, and it's literally been an art savior for me. It's like I get inspired just opening the app because it's filled with so much art, and it's not like it's random stuff on top of art. Well, there's a little bit of random stuff here and there, but it's like straight art. Oh my goodness, it is so good. And I've been using that to absorb a lot of media, and I think I'm kind of realizing more of what I want my style to look like, which is good for me because it's helped me improve. You're probably looking at number 2 about to click off the video, but I can explain. YouTube is filled with so many pro artists who post their art in real time. And as artists, we need to use that to our advantage. It may seem elementary at first, but drawing along with pro artists helps you to understand their subconscious decisions that they make with their lines. And that can really be a benefit to you, especially when you're starting out early like myself. When you draw along with pro artists, you get to pick up skills and understand concepts passively. And it's really, really good, I promise. It just takes a couple tries and all of a sudden you're absorbing information like crazy. So if you don't already know, there's kind of 2 ways you can reference something. The first way is when you reference from a drawing or image and take certain aspects from it instead of the whole thing. The second way, which is really helpful for beginners, is drawing for accuracy. And that's when you try and copy the image or drawing onto a piece of paper. I'm gonna demonstrate this with a reference of Bakugo. So I start off and I'm just generally referencing. I'm still drawing in my style and doing the things that I usually do. I'm kind of looking between the drawings here and there for the hair and kind of trying to get his facial expression right, but I'm not really referencing exactly. It turns out alright, and between my style and the image, you probably would mistake it for a different character, and the hair isn't quite right. But it still is seemingly recognizable as Bakugo. In the second reference, I'm paying close attention to the lines, seeing where they curved and what decisions the artist made. I'm giving extra attention to detail to the spacing between lines and how other things correlate in this art piece. As you can see, the MHA art style is not mine. I'm making a bunch of mistakes, but that's the thing about art, you need to make mistakes in order to learn from them. By the end of the referencing, I actually noticed mistakes I made along the way and I was able to fix them and fine-tune them. And this is the core piece of material that helps you to upgrade your art style. When you see and fix those mistakes, your brain automatically realizes them and takes account of them. You can also write down mistakes you made down or things you wish you would have done better. This can help you greatly. By the end of it, it looks much more like Bakugo, and it's pretty close to MHA style, I would say, kind of ish. I think I did okay for someone who doesn't really draw in the MHA style. This isn't really a one and done thing. You're gonna have to practice multiple times and you're gonna have to try and draw away from the references more and more as you go to see the type of stuff you've picked up. So I think we all kind of understand the general idea of breaking down. You get a shape, you say that the shape goes on a face, and then you draw it. But there's a few proper ways to break down something and to draw it afterwards. So now I'm going to demonstrate that with Gone. As you can see, I start off with a circle and then I kind of get a line coming up the middle, down the middle. Everyone breaks down things differently. And honestly, some people use more shapes, some people use different lines. It's all about the way that you understand it. That's the most important thing that you have to remember. Breaking down can be different from person to person, but the way that you do it is the right way. And that's what you just gotta stick with. Now that you have the groundwork down, you might want to reference it to really instill what you just learned. For example, when I reference, I start off with the circle and I immediately go to that lower half of his face instead of trying to start from the top. Because I understand that the circle is its own place and his lower face, it's its own place too. So I start with the lower face and I'll add the top of him later. I also realize there's a triangular kind of correlation going on with the nose and the eyes, so I try and make the eye nearest to the edge of his face kind of point towards the nose, and the eye that's further away, I kind of make it kind of point to the nose a little bit. You can see that triangle in the breakdown more, and those are just things that you start to understand passively, and it's really good because you start to bring it into your own art without even noticing. I'm actually 300% sure this is the first time I've ever drawn Gone. And I started watching Hunter x Hunter back in 2019 to 2020, so I think it's just kind of silly, that's when my art was really bad, and now my art's better and I'm drawing him and he looks decent, he looks okay. Another extra step that you don't have to do but you can do is you can break down the art that you've drawn, and if you see that similar correlation between the breakdown you originally did and the breakdown you've done on your own version, then you really know that you've actually solidified it. You've got the same points that you saw in the old art that you broke down, and now everything's just really solid. I think I'm pretty happy with this one. I don't really draw in the Hunter x Hunter style, even though the Hunter x Hunter style is beautiful. It has so much range, but I think I did okay with this. Trust me when I say this, I'm as excited as everyone else to get my OCs out there, put them on the front page of everything, make their beautiful stories. I'm excited too. But we're all still human. We need to take breaks, drink water, sleep, eat, everything else in between. Art is more mental than we think it is. I mean, for example, if you truly believe that you can never get better at art, you're not going to pick up that pencil to do better or do more. You probably won't even be watching this video right now if you really don't think that your art is ever going to get anywhere and you're an absolute failure. But things like that aren't true. And that's the mentality that really can get to some people, forcing them to quit sometimes. And between social media and daily life, art can get really tough. You really need to take care of yourself. It's one of the most important things. I know I said absorb is one of the most important things, but taking breaks is so important. Please, take care of yourself, honestly. In a world where the best artists are absolutely blasted in our faces on social media, sometimes comparing your art to other people's can be very easy, and it's a really dark rabbit hole. But just remember that you're trying, and that's all that's ever mattered. As long as you're trying, you're getting better. There's no devolving with art. Art has no rules. In fact, everything I said can be completely disregarded. It's what you take in. Art is a reflection of yourself, and that's all you have to remember. Anyways, yet again, an awkward ending by me. I don't really know what to say now. The video's over. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy, please subscribe because, I'm raising a goblin army. And this is your calling. Okay, let me stop. That's cringy now. But thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment. Any critique. Oh my gosh, I love critique. Please give it to me. I will learn from it. I'll eat it. It's delicious. It's I eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's what sustains me, honestly. But yeah, thanks for watching.